Amidst the symphony of chaos and clashing steel, Wujin's mind churns with calculated precision. The pandemonium, a whirlwind of aggression and strategy, provides the canvas upon which he paints his plan. The orcs, like moths to a flame, are consumed by their aggression towards the players, oblivious to the shadow that slips through their midst. The objective, like a lodestar guiding his actions, is clear: find the orc champion, that elusive figure wreathed in power, while the orcs are ensnared in the web of distraction. The dungeon's challenge, a symphony of trials, demands his triumph over both the champion and the horde of 1,000 orcs, a feat that could forever etch his name in the annals of the game. The major guilds, the titans of this digital realm, converge on the dungeon with shared intent. Their strategy, a harmony of annihilation, focuses on thinning the orc ranks like reapers in a field of battle. This, in turn, offers Wujin the temporal advantage he seeks. With the orcs preoccupied, he sets his sights on securing the coveted orc fang, a prize that could turn the tide of the game. In a shadow-draped corner of the dungeon, a tableau of dominance unfolds. The orc champion, a hulking figure, perches upon a throne adorned with the spoils of war. The orc fang, a symbol of supremacy, hangs around its neck like a pendant of doom. The throne room, a theater of brutality, witnesses the cruel ballet of power as the orcs execute Neelan kin. Fear, like a noxious miasma, wafts through the ranks. With a guttural screech, the champion raises its axe, a call that resonates with the orcs' primal instincts. A tide of aggression surges forth, a surge that propels them toward the players like a relentless avalanche. The battlefield becomes a maelstrom of violence, a dance of death and survival that weaves lives together in a tapestry of chaos. Amidst this turmoil, Wujin's footsteps echo like whispers of destiny. His search, a pursuit akin to threading a needle in a storm, finally culminates. The orc champion stands before him, a mountain of power surrounded by the corpses of its underlings. The tide of battle has shifted, granting him a rare opening to challenge the champion in isolation. 2 skeleton soldiers stand by his side, their bony forms ready for combat. The dance begins, an intricate choreography of life and death. The first skeleton lunges, but the champion's response is an effortless symphony of destruction. Bones shatter, a testament to the champion's overwhelming might. Unperturbed, Wujin readies his poisoned arrow, the harbinger of his intent. Tension hangs heavy in the air, an unspoken challenge between predator and prey. The arrow takes flight, a viper unleashed from its coil, but the champion's agility defies expectations. It sidesteps the impending death with a grace that belies its monstrous form. Wujin's realization, like a tremor beneath his thoughts, surfaces. The champion's prowess surpasses his assumptions. The battlefield, once a tableau of opportunity, becomes a battleground fraught with danger. As the odds tilt against him, he understands the necessity of adaptation, the chameleon-like shift required to overcome an adversary of unparalleled strength. The champion's roars echo, a symphony of power that resonates through the chamber. The stakes, like a sword poised at his throat, demand his every fiber of focus. In the face of this unyielding opponent, Wujin's mind is a crucible of calculation, his every move a testament to the mind of a strategist. As the battle rages on, the air crackling with tension, Wujin contemplates his next move. The dance of combat, a struggle for supremacy, unfolds in every sinew of his being. Adaptation, like a second heartbeat, becomes his ally in the face of an adversary that knows no bounds. Faced with the colossal challenge of confronting the orc champion, its power magnified by the menacing fang it brandishes, Wujin's mind churns with calculated tactics. As his mana reserves dwindle, the sting of necessity drives his decision to withdraw from the clash, a temporary retreat to replenish his strength. His muscles tense as he propels himself into motion, heart racing like a drumbeat of survival. Its retreat, a calculated gambit, reveals a curious twist. The orc champion, a towering embodiment of power, does not heed the call to pursuit. A current of confusion ripples through Wujin's thoughts, an enigma that raises its shadowy head. Yet, in the face of this unforeseen opportunity, he does not falter. Fortune, it seems, has favored him with an avenue of escape, and he accepts it with both a grateful heart and a steely resolve. As the distance between him and the champion grows, the fire of vengeance ignites within him. The champion's inexplicable decision, like a beacon in the night, fuels the flames of his determination. His footsteps echo the rhythm of his thoughts, a promise whispered to the wind. He will make the champion rue the day it spared him. Meanwhile, in the periphery of this grand tableau, the minor character guild stirs. Eyes trained on the retreat, whispers of speculation flutter among the guild's members. The leader, a beacon of tempered wisdom, recognizes the gravity of the situation. Caution becomes their guiding principle, a choice to investigate the aftermath and secure the spoils left behind by the enigmatic protagonists. Back at the heart of the main base, Woo-jin finds himself enveloped in an atmosphere weighed heavy by grief. The shroud of loss hangs like a storm cloud, a testament to the grim costs of this digital battle. A throne of unease reverberates through the air as he absorbs the somber energy around him, a silent witness to the fallen comrades whose avatars have faded into oblivion. Whispers like ghostly echoes reach his ears, conversations hushed and urgent, the symphony of speculation and suspicion. His acute senses capture the fragments of discourse, and a mosaic of understanding begins to form. The gnawing certainty that someone orchestrates the chaos, stoking the flames of conflict among the guilds, sharpens his determination. In this cauldron of chaos, his resolve crystallizes. Action must be swift to thwart the hand that seeks to unravel the fragile alliances. His gaze shifts, and a battle rages before him. Players clashing with orcs, the very essence of virtuality merging with the cacophony of war. Dust clouds dance as the turmoil escalates, a tempest of pixels of desperation. The anticipated guild battles, an inevitable tempest, rage like a storm on the horizon. Yet Woo-jin's eyes remain focused on his own symphony of strategy, a melody of precision woven with the threads of limitation. In the midst of this chaos, a revelation unfurls like the unfurling of a hidden sail. Could the skeletons, those spectral pawns of his arsenal, wield bows and arrows? With a heartbeat of anticipation, he accesses his status window, and his query finds affirmation. A skeletal soldier, its form a canvas of ethereal bones, stands summoned at his command. Before the looming champion, a colossus of power and purpose, Woo-jin's voice rings out like a challenge. A declaration. It's time for round 2. The champion's breath, a rumble of readiness, heralds its charge. The fang glows with sinister intent, and the earth shudders beneath the weight of its steps. An arrow, swift as a phantom's kiss, is unleashed towards the champion's head. Though the champion swats the missile aside, his gaze sharpens as 2 skeletons emerge from the shadows. Armed with bows, they conjure an eerie tableau of death and defiance. The clash of brute power against calculated strategy unfolds as the champion strikes the ground, a percussive crescendo that sends debris scattering like fallen stars. The skeletons, nimble in their ethereal forms, evade the barrage and retaliate with a barrage of arrows. Woo-jin's own movements are orchestrated with precision. He descends, positioning himself above the champion's towering form, satisfaction bubbling in his veins. His plan, like a puppet master's design, is executed with finesse. The dance of death has found its choreographer, and Woo-jin's steps within this dark ballad are anything but tentative. Suspended within the vast expanse, Woo-jin becomes a tempest of motion, his body a living vortex. Like a Beyblade in a mesmerizing spin, he darts forward with electrifying speed. His blade, an extension of his will, carves a streak of silver fire across the champion's heaving chest. The necklace, a symbol of the fang's might, shatters with a crystalline chime, relinquishing its hold on the coveted artifact. In a heartbeat, the fang plummets, a falling star destined to be caught by Woo-jin's outstretched hand. The weight of its power is palpable against his palm, the thrill of victory coursing through him. An incantation of command ushers forth the fang's latent energies, and an ethereal symphony of power fills the air. Woo-jin's perception shifts, becoming attuned to the champion's weakening strength. With poised precision, the orc champion lunges, a lethal arc of his weapon singing through the air. Yet, like a wraith, Woo-jin dances on the edge of its strike, the caress of danger a mere whisper against his skin. From the shadows of the battlefield, arrows of fate find their marks. With deadly precision, they pierce the champion's leg, delivering the venomous payload of poison. Woo-jin watches as the toxin takes hold, its effects rippling through the orc's sinewy frame. Triumph flares within him, for this calculated move has birthed a new narrative. The fang, a talisman of might, bestows upon him a title that reverberates with significance. In the eye of the storm, amidst the carnage, Woo-jin takes a precious moment of introspection. His blade kisses his own flesh, the sting a testament to his unyielding determination. With renewed vigor, the battle's cadence resumes, an eternal rhythm of strife and triumph. With a singular focus, the champion turns its attention to the specters of death that confront it, the summoned skeletons. These ethereal sentinels become the dancers in this deadly ballad, their movements a weave of fluid evasion. Arrows sail like harbingers of doom, striking true and bypassing the orc's defenses. One finds its mark in the champion's gut, a venomous serpent injected into the heart of the beast. Emboldened by the orc's weakening state, Woo-jin charges forth. A storm of calculated aggression, his every move an echo of strategy. His life form navigates the frenzied onslaught, a dancer within a maelstrom. The orc's desperate strikes become threads in a tapestry woven by Woo-jin's precision. Expertly, he manipulates the champion's thrusts, weaving his path through the chaos. A moment of brilliance arrives, an orchestrated dance with the champion as his partner. His blade pierces the orc's arm, a strategic strike that shatters its grip on the mighty axe. Released from the tyrant's clasp, the axe becomes a missile, a soaring embodiment of raw power. In a symphony of agility and coordination, one of the summoned skeletons intercepts the axe's trajectory. With a flourish, it catches the weapon, a moment of breathtaking prowess amidst the chaos. Elsewhere, the dance of conflict catches the attention of a lone observer. Concealed within the embrace of the surrounding treaties, he becomes privy to the spectacle unfolding below. The orc champion's roars pierce the air, a melody of brutality. Intrigued by the enigma that takes on this behemoth, the observer resolves to become a silent chronicler. From a vantage point atop a lofty cliff, he watches the battlefield unfold beneath him. Woo-jin's form is a blur of calculated movement, the skeleton's mere echoes of his intent. But awe and fear intertwine within him, a potent mixture that muddles reason. Panic takes root, and he contemplates a hasty retreat to report his findings to the guild. His tracks halted as the song of an arrow cuts through the air, finding purchase in his flesh. Pain blooms and darkness beckons. The enigmatic figure steps into existence, a harbinger of the unknown. The observer's gaze meets the figure's enigmatic visage of one from the Skull Guild, speech rendered meaningless as unconsciousness claims him. In a shadowy enclave of the enigmatic figures, one among them unfolds a tome that bears an uncanny likeness to the blacklist Woo-jin at once presented to Yang Wan. With practiced strokes, sketches take form upon the parchment, weaving a picture that mirrors a tale of names and destinies intertwined. Another figure, insistent and hurried, urges the artist to hasten. There's a palpable air of purpose, a sense of urgency that charges the atmosphere. Among these enigmatic figures, queries arise like wisps of smoke. The path they tread is woven in secrecy, its tendrils shrouded in intrigue. A voice questions the figure's purpose in scribbling the image, a question that echoes the chambers of their intent. Is it simply a matter of theft, or does it entwine with darker designs? A name is spoken, a name tethered to the past, to the man called Woo-jin. The enigmatic figure, his visage a puzzle concealed in the cowl of its cloak, nods in confirmation. The plan unfurls before them, a tapestry woven from calculations and deductions. The figure's reasoning dances in the air, a spider weaving its web. Fatigue, a lethal ally, awaits Woo-jin after his clash with the champion, an adversary too mighty to be shrugged off with ease. It is in this calculated frailty that the enigmatic figure finds its advantage. With purpose etched into every step, the enigmatic figure departs the scene, its departure trailing unanswered questions. As the figure's cloak dissolves into the shadows, it leaves behind a landscape tinged with uncertainty. Yet, even as these enigmatic figures weave their enigma, another tale unfolds. A tableau of major guilds, their banners fluttering with victory's breeze, and on the precipice of the aftermath. Orcs, now vanquished, are strewn across the landscape. In the midst of shared triumph, an unexpected revelation unfurls, a window into the arcane world of status updates. The orc champion's fall is signaled through these digital whispers, a feat that kindles surprise in the minds of those who stand as witnesses. A representative, brows furrowed with disbelief, grapples with the notion that their adversary has been toppled, yet misconceptions dance in the air, rumors spinning their silk of misinformation. Twists of fate and the credit for victory is misattributed, a web of misunderstanding that tightens its grasp. And amid the tumultuous clash of powers, Woo-jin stands alone amidst the detritus of conflict. An axe once wielded by the now stilled hands of an orc is retrieved with the weight of triumph. Skeleton, his spectral companion, claims its own victory, earning Woo-jin a level. The jubilation of conquest is twinned with curiosity as a new skill graces his repertoire. Book, it's named a repository of vanquished souls, a ledger of battles won. With a touch, the skill is summoned to life, a maw of darkness that devours the essence of the fallen. An unspoken vulnerability, the weakness of a lone warrior is unburdened, replaced by a pact with the shadows that populate his arsenal. Amidst these clandestine endeavors, a shift unfurls. Intentions that once dripped with venom metamorphose, transformed by considerations unforeseen. Lives once intended for snuffing are now marked for extinction. The enigmatic leader, harbinger of command, plans a lesson for the rookie among them. Strategy melds with education, the imminent task leading the dance of fate. As the plan takes shape, caution becomes the watchword, a reminder that shadows thrive in anonymity. Self-preservation, an unspoken threat, brushes against the air, but urgency trumps deliberation. Focus narrows, intent sharpens, and as the enigmatic figures prepare to confront the perceived novice, threads of confusion unspool. They wonder if Wu Jin, the target of their plot, has detected their presence, an unexpected twist that propels them into action. Their conjectures hang suspended, a breath before impact. Yet, in a whirlwind of motion, the tableau shatters. The enigmatic figures, prepared for confrontation, find themselves ensnared in a maelstrom of their own making. It's a symphony of skill, a ballet of expertise, and within the heart of the storm, Wu Jin stands as the conductor. Their veils of enigma are cast aside, and the enigmatic figures crumble beneath the weight of his resolve. Cloaks flutter to the ground, masks discarded in defeat. Amid the tumult, Wu Jin emerges, a figure of purpose unveiled, a force of nature bared to the world. The narrative unfolds, casting its gaze upon Wu Jin as he ventures into the labyrinth of memories belonging to the novice he had crossed paths with. Within this mental tapestry, he finds fragments of recollection, but a conspicuous absence shrouds the Messiah Guild in a veil of enigma. Among the threads of remembrance, he notes the fallen man, a specter of death who had also been a phantom in his previous life. The revelation fuels intrigue, a riddle yet to be unraveled. Clad in the mask of his alter ego, Wu Jin becomes a shadow in pursuit of knowledge. The scene shifts back to the present, where the leader of the enigmatic edgelords stands at the precipice of discovery. Curiosity dances in the leader's eyes, a fire of inquiry ignited by Wu Jin's unanticipated appearance. Skeletons, a skeletal vanguard, approach with silent footsteps, orchestrating a symphony of impending doom. In the symphony of shadows and chaos, Wu Jin orchestrates his retribution. A ballet of skill and strategy unfurls as skeletons and foe collide. The leader, his bravado tested by the inexorable advance of fate, confronts the harbinger of his demise. As the leader's followers fall one by one, Wu Jin's path narrows, his steps measured, a dance of finality. Amid this dance of death, the leader grapples with the inevitable. Confronted by Wu Jin's resolve, he clings to his secrets, a fragile armor of defiance. With an air of resignation, he declares silence as his ally, the last vestiges of honor preserved in the shadows. Yet Wu Jin, poised as executioner and judge, unravels the web of intent. In a paradoxical gesture, the leader chooses to end his own story, a final act to defy the strings of fate. The blade's glint, a whisper of finality, slices through the air. The moment hangs suspended, a tragedy painted in shades of finality. Wu Jin, unmoved by the spectacle, observes the act with the detached gaze of a collector of souls. Within the span of moments, a new power surges. The Eye of Anubis, a key to unlock secrets held within memories, unfurls its might. In a dance of visions, Wu Jin peels back the layers of the leader's consciousness. A tapestry of memory takes form, a mosaic of intention woven into the very fabric of existence. In the woven threads of recollection, a story is unveiled. The edgelord leader's quest is bound to a grander tapestry, a tale of power, dominion, and empire. The Yamato State emerges from the darkness of intentions, a rising force with its own designs. Among the puppeteers, two figures hold the strings, and their affiliation slices through Wu Jin's soul like a blade of betrayal. They are his past mentors, his comrades, turned architects of his sinister plan. The realization dawns with a chill of revulsion. The very bonds of trust, woven over time, have been twisted into malevolence. The tendrils of manipulation have reached even those who once guided him. Promise is forged, a promise to thwart their designs, to turn their pawns against them. A plan takes root, nurtured by the fertile soil of manipulation. Wu Jin seizes upon the power of perception, recognizing the potency of chaos. With resolve etched into every fiber of his being, he maps his path, setting in motion events that will gather attention and shift the currents of fate. As the pendulum swings toward the climax, the narrative shifts its focus, revealing two managers outside the dungeon's gate. Their discourse unfurls, painted in hues of anticipation and apprehension. The impending chaos, a maelstrom born of human greed, lies just beyond the horizon of victory. The Messiah Guild, an enigma within an enigma, remains aloof from the chaos, stoking the fires of speculation. And in the heart of that chaos, the exodus from the dungeon begins. Players, driven by avarice and the prospect of riches, flood the exit. But amidst the exodus, confusion takes root. The echoes of the edgelords are conspicuously absent, and the rewards they coveted remain elusive. As the pieces of the puzzle fall into place, even Yang Wan, the mastermind orchestrating the labyrinthine game, grapples with frustration. The edgelord's demise, an unforeseen twist, has scrambled his designs. The rewards he sought to manipulate have vanished into the ether, leaving behind only questions and uncertainty. The chamber of negotiations pulses with tension as the Phoenix Guild extends their apologies to Yang Wan, their expressions a mixture of deference and unease. Yang Wan's voice, measured and commanding, slices through the air as he demands reparation for his losses. His words are laced with the sharp edges of business acumen, his emphasis on monetary compensation a reflection of his pragmatic disposition. The words hang in the air, a palpable weight that shifts the balance of power. As the Phoenix Guild departs, Yang Wan's sharp gaze falls upon his secretary, a silent dance of inquiry in his eyes. In a tone tinged with indifference, he inquires about Wu Jin's condition. The secretary, poised and composed, responds with precision, her words a ripple in the calm before the storm. The revelation that Wu Jin remains confined within hospital walls elicits a derisive chuckle from Yang Wan's lips. The notion of Wu Jin, the indomitable strategist, felled by a dungeon creature's blow, is almost absurd. Yet a twist of intrigue unfurls as the secretary delves into Wu Jin's cryptic words. A wound inflicted not by monstrous claws, but by something more elusive. A puzzle yet to be unraveled. The intrigue fans the embers of Yang Wan's curiosity, a flame that refuses to be snuffed out. With purpose, he resolves to unearth the truth, to walk the corridors of the hospital in pursuit of the enigma that is Wu Jin. Stepping away from Wu Jin's confines, the winds of fate guide Yang Wan to a chance encounter. A man, his expression a cocktail of disappointment and exasperation, shares an exchange of words with Yang Wan. The transaction is cryptic, a passing of the torch from one enigma to another. As the man recedes, Yang Wan ascends into the confines of the elevator, his thoughts a maelstrom of contemplation. In Wu Jin's hospital room, questions hang suspended in the air, a chorus of curiosity seeking answers. Yang Wan's inquisition takes form as he probes the recesses of Wu Jin's knowledge. The Skull Guild and the Edge Lords, entities shrouded in obscurity, prompt Yang Wan's admission of ignorance. Wu Jin's recounting of events, a dance of witnessing and survival, weaves the narrative into the fabric of intrigue. The covert skill, the thread that binds the enigmatic Edge Lords, is dissected and analyzed. Acknowledgement is the bridge that emerges as Yang Wan validates the existence of the covert skill, unveiling its shadowy purpose. The Edgelord's intentions, cast in shades of darkness, cast ripples across Wu Jin's narrative. Yang Wan's insight, tempered by experience and speculation, offers a glimpse into the intricate layers of a game played in shadows. The chamber resonates with Wu Jin's words, his tale a testament to resilience and adaptability. The Edgelord's assault, met with calculated cunning and the bloody poison skill, sets the stage for a confrontation of shadows. Wu Jin's tenacity, his solitary witness to the enigma, becomes the fulcrum upon which the narrative pivots. In the wake of revelations, a dialogue emerges, an exchange of purpose and intention. Wu Jin's quest, driven by an enigmatic past, becomes the centerpiece of discussion. The offer of assistance is extended, strings of cooperation woven into the fabric of secrecy. Wu Jin's purpose, hidden beneath layers of subterfuge, aligns with Yang Wan's own designs. Secrets laid bare, the stage shifts as Yang Wan makes his departure, the echoes of his footsteps reverberating with the weight of revelation. Wu Jin's contemplative gaze follows him, the currents of fate shifting beneath the surface. The pieces, like pawns on a vast chessboard, have been moved with calculated precision. From the confines of a car, Yang Wan's voice echoes with purpose. A sponsor, an enigma within the enigma, remains absent. His resolve sets a new path, one that weaves through the labyrinthine black markets in pursuit of truth. Meanwhile, Wu Jin treads a different path, a solitary figure enveloped in anticipation. The tides of destiny converge as the familiar ring of a call cuts through the silence. Wu Jin, poised and waiting, answers the summons of fate. The conversation unfolds, the voice of opportunity wrapped in the promise of a deal. The cryptic dance of words revolves around the elusive Se-chan, a figure of shadows and intrigue. In the shadows, the curtain lifts, revealing the protagonists of a hidden narrative. The bald figure, his visage etched with enigma, emerges as Se-chan. Beside him stands a shrouded companion, their identity a tantalizing mystery. The exchange, a blend of banter and veiled threats, is a testament to the intricate dance of power. A stage set for manipulation and uncertainty, Wu Jin remains at the center, a puppet master pulling strings unseen. As the curtain falls on one act, the narrative lingers in the anticipation of the next. The journey of enigma and revelation marches forward, echoing through the corridors of time. With the assurance of a seasoned warrior, Wu Jin's voice cuts through the air, resonating with confidence. He lays bare the secrets of kobolds, creatures that might baffle ordinary players, but crumble like brittle parchment once their vulnerabilities are unveiled. As the world pulses around him, Secretary Lee's watchful eyes capture Wu Jin's departure towards the dungeon's maw. A voice, a calm inquiry, penetrates the tension as Secretary Lee inquires about initiating the timer. The rhythm of their exchange weaves through the air like a silent symphony. Meanwhile, on the other end of the digital thread, Shan's voice registers surprise, his words laced with curiosity. The swift maneuver of Wu Jin has caught his attention, a note of intrigue seeping into his voice. A cascade of questions tumbles forth as Si-chan probes further, seeking to unveil the enigma. The absence of provisions, a fact confirmed by Secretary Lee, elicits contemplation from Si-chan. Is it recklessness or a wellspring of overconfidence that propels Wu Jin into the abyss? A shrouded figure, silent yet contemplative, inserts a nuanced thought. Overly self-assured, the words hang like a mist, lingering in the air. The canvas of possibility stretches wide, painted with shades of bravado and bluffs. A dance of conjecture ensues, their voices a symphony of speculation. The setting shifts, a new act unfurling as a messenger from the Messiah Guild steps into the spotlight. The air crackles with tension as Jae-hoon's voice paints a portrait of minimal damage, words that clash against the canvas of anger that ignites within the Japanese masters. Flames of displeasure lick at the edges of their words as the loss of 5 men is lamented. A symphony of apology swells in the air, the dissonance of error harmonizing with the promise of investigation. The master's command, dismissal accompanied by the offer of alcohol, is a paradoxical embrace of camaraderie and censure. The bond they share with the Messiah Guild hangs in the balance, and fragile threads spun from alliances and uncertainty. As the curtain falls on this scene, a quiet conversation whispers through shadows. The Japanese masters, the enigmatic figures, discuss fallen soldiers and adversaries erased from the grand tapestry. Their words carry the weight of speculation as they venture into the labyrinth of possibilities. The Phoenix Guild, a name that ripples with potential culpability, floats in the air, their musings drifting like mist. A new tableau takes form, figures huddled near the maw of the dungeon. Their voices a chorus of anticipation. The gate, both portal and barrier, is a focal point, its activation an invocation of impending revelation. The resounding sound of the gate's reawakening pierces the air, a harbinger of cleared dungeons and the cacophony of victory. The scramble begins, a pursuit of Wu Jin's specter, their gaze tracking his retreat as his car drifts away. Meanwhile, in the sanctum of strategy, Chan's voice is a whip of admonishment, his frustration sharp and resolute. The tapestry of plans phrased at the edges, grievances sown in the soil of unfulfilled expectations. Secretary Lee's voice weaves through the fray, a voice of reason and context, untangling threads of circumstance. An intricate dance of explanation unfolds, revealing a connection that reaches beyond the realms of business, a favor intertwined with hometown bonds. Si-chan's words shift, his declaration a marker of transformation. The act of quitting drinking, once a balm, a refuge, has morphed into a declaration of intent. Secretary Lee's voice mirrors approval, an unsung harmony beneath the words. She departs, a promise woven into her steps, a whispered assurance of a future connection, of avenues yet unexplored. In the quiet cocoon of his car, Wu Jin's gaze alights upon artifacts placed as offerings upon his vehicular altar. A walkie-talkie, a lifeline of communication, and a piece of parchment, an oracle of instructions, beckon him. Contemplation threads through his thoughts like a wisp of smoke. Are the edgelords extending a hand of partnership, or is it a siren's song luring him into the abyss? The written words are like breadcrumbs leading into the unknown, a path that promises connection if only he dares to follow. As the curtains draw close on this act, the narrative hangs suspended in anticipation. Fate's tendrils intertwine, drawing together disparate threads into a tapestry of intrigue. In the interplay of enigma and revelation, the saga marches forward, enigmatic and profound. In a swift cinematic transition, the spotlight now graces Jae-hoon as he sits in a car, enshrouded in contemplation. His mind dances between possibilities, a labyrinth of solutions for the puzzle he's tasked to solve. The ring of his phone shatters the silence, a call that ushers him into action. The Skull Guild beckons, and without hesitation he steers his vehicle towards the rendezvous. In another pocket of the narrative, Yong-won emerges, his voice a low murmur in a hushed conversation. The air is thick with an aura of discretion, secrets being exchanged with a caution that befits the clandestine nature of their discourse. An elevated vantage point offers Jae-hoon a visual tapestry to scrutinize. His eyes are like hawks, dissecting the interactions below. How much does Yong-won truly know? The question hovers like an unanswered riddle. Amid this labyrinthine dance, a shadow manifests, a stranger with intent woven into his every step. Curiosity sparks in his eyes, a thirst to quench his intrigue. His words flutter like a moth to the flame of Jae-hoon's attention. Yong-won, the enigmatic orchestrator, has shared words that hang in the air like fragments of a cryptic puzzle, a jigsaw that invites exploration. Yang Wan's conversations play out in a symphony of dialogue as he communicates with someone, his words a whisper in the grand narrative. His exit becomes a gravitational point, a moment that draws Jae-hoon's gaze like a moth to a flame. Suspicion and uncertainty mingle in the air, creating an intricate choreography of doubt within Jae-hoon's thoughts. This task is a labyrinth, one he realizes he cannot navigate alone. Approaching the stranger is a decision weighted by the scales of necessity. Information shared becomes a lifeline, a rope to grasp in the storm of uncertainties. The name Jong Hoon Yang drips from the stranger's lips, an enigma with a penchant for cold pragmatism. Intent dances in the air as Jae-hoon forms a proposition, the delicate threads of cooperation hanging on the precipice of a profitable venture. The narrative shifts once more, away from clandestine dealings and into the realm of Yang Wan's domain. His friend is poised in a car, ensnared in the web of traffic. His secretary's voice, a cadence of concern, echoes through the space, questioning the intricacies of a plan that thrives in shadows. Yang Wan's words, sharp and assertive, cut through the air, their impact reverberating with determination. His chessboard is set, and he awaits the movement of the pieces, particularly the pivotal role of Woo-jin, the linchpin of his grand scheme. A call shatters the stillness, the echoes of communication carving ripples through the narrative. Woo-jin's voice, laced with curiosity, touches the airwaves, a thread connecting distant players in this intricate tapestry. The discussion dances between practicalities and nuances, an exchange that hints at secrets veiled behind carefully chosen words. In a dance of strategy and speculation, the scene sways back to Jae-hoon, his thoughts a tumultuous sea of uncertainty. His memories are splintered with the taste of past encounters and information gathered. Woo-jin's name etches itself onto a dungeon list, a revelation that sparks a flame of skepticism within Jae-hoon's thoughts. Is this a tale woven from threads of truth or a tapestry of trickery? The risk hangs heavy in the air, uncertainty swirling like a tempest. Woo-jin, ensconced in his vehicle, stands on the precipice of a decision. The walkie-talkie bridges the gap between him and Se-chan, a fragile line of communication. Words are exchanged, confidence weaved into sentences as Woo-jin expresses his readiness to meet Se-chan's challenge. The pause that follows hints at the unspoken, a delicate ballad of intention and doubt. Back in the realm of Yang Wan's machinations, the secretaries become conduits of information. Yang Wan's intentions are unveiled, a skill page, a gift that sits poised on the edge of revelation. Woo-jin's thoughts intertwine with his past, the memories of a life once lived. The skill acquired promises power, yet its identity remains shrouded. The spotlight now shifts to a congregation of voices, members of the Phoenix Guild. The backdrop is a dungeon, a realm where their frustrations pour forth like an unbridled river. Yang Wan's decision becomes a canvas upon which their grievances are painted. Amid their chorus, a specter looms, a lurking figure donning the visage of the edgelord mask. Shadows dance around this enigmatic presence, a sentinel in the dark, a harbinger of intrigue yet to unfold.